the best story I know, or the story I know the best. But the TLDR version is I was met 8 years later. I became a disciple. I was met 4 times in that period of time, and Jesus is awesome and patient. So from a young age, from even like in high school, I was searching, right? I was raised Catholic, and I lost faith in that. And I was like, which is the way? There's so many denominations. So I would pray. God, show me the way. Which one's the way? And I believe that God opened the door for me many times, and it didn't walk through because I was living my life. So the first time was the summer of '93, right before I went to college. I went on a family vacation. It was a working vacation for my parents. And the family we stayed with in New York, their son was a disciple. And his job for the week was to give me a tour of New York, to babysit me. And I had a good time hanging out with the AMS ministry in New York. And it was all new and exciting to me. And every once in a while, a couple of times we studied the Bible. We went to Hunter's College or some college in Manhattan. And we did the Word and Discipleship studies, I believe. And I would ask them, why are you asking me these serious questions? We're having such a good time. I'm 18 years old. I just want to have fun, right? And and I remember it was a great week. Hey, guys, could you turn on your cameras? I don't care if you're in your pajamas or whatever. I want to see if I'm boring you. And just like, if I'm going too long, I'll abbreviate. Thanks, guys. So I studied
Love
the
you,
Bible.
Dante.
Love you, baby. So that week,
You're awesome.
it was amazing because, first of all the people in the AMS ministry were like models and actors, and they're on Broadway. And I was, I was like, who are all these beautiful people? And I went to church that week in the basement of some hotel. And I remember what the lesson was. And I remember them singing "Seek Ye First," and they had all the parts of the song. And I was blown away. I was like, what is this? It's beautiful, right? And I remember the guy preaching, he was saying, hey, you singles, you go date, you married, you have children, right? And I was raised Catholic. We didn't never talk about anything like that. So that blew me away. I left that week. He gave me a Bible, and I said, I'll find the church in Orlando. And when I got back to Orlando, I did a cursory search, and I didn't find them, right? All right, that was the first time, right? So about a year later, I was a freshman in college, and I was just walking on campus, and some guy invited me to their club, Alpha Omega, and I was like, oh, that's my friend's church club in New York, and I was really excited. And so I went back to my fraternity house, and I was excited. I was telling everyone, hey, I found my club, found my church. And one of my mentors in that club said, Dante, don't go there. They're weird. It's a cult. And it freaked me out, right? So I gave this dude my phone number, and that was back in the day of answering machines. And he was calling me up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this weirdo's calling me. And I'd see him on campus, and I'd walk to the other side of the street. And I was just a straight up coward. I'm just gonna say it. I was a coward. Then my little brother in the fraternity, a couple years later, this is 96, 97. Todd might remember this. We used to meet in the Twin Towers on I Drive, or near I Drive, right? He invited me to church service. So I went a couple of times, and I'm living my full party life in college, and my buddy is moving away from that. He became a Christian. He was really weird. He was different because we're weird. And I was like, oh man, this isn't for me. You guys are weird. I visited a couple times, right? So the last time I was invited was 2001, summer. And I was working in the computer labs at UCF. And I was trying to get this girl's phone number. And she said, why don't you go to church? And so I came to church, and eventually I started studying the Bible. So I believe that God opened the door for me many times, but I didn't go through. I was doing my own thing, right? So that was the search part of my conversion, right? The conversion point, I was studying the Bible, and the first thing, the first thing that I noticed was when we're doing the word studies and the first studies, I was using the Bible that my friend gave me. I was like, oh my gosh, I've done this before. All the stuff we were doing was highlighted. It's like, yeah, this is my, it was pretty amazing, right? My friend was actually in the towers during 9/11. He got out. He was on one of the lower levels. The guy who studied the Bible with me in New York. That was one thing. And then they posed a question to me. They said, your priorities in life. What are your priorities? God, king, country, whatever. And I knew what the right answer was, right? But I had to be honest because I'm studying the Bible. God knows, anyways. And God was not my number one priority. It was family, before country. And I don't know where God fit in there, maybe second, third. And that was shocking. That was a shocking realization to me, right? And so I was taking this seriously. And the point where it made sense to me was we were studying the Bible. We're studying the cross, excuse me. We're studying the cross, and we're doing the medical study of crucifixion. And man, that's a tough study, man. I'm an artist, so I was imagining every part of crucifixion, and now squirming in my seat. This is horrible. And I got to describe the situation for you. I'm studying the Bible. I was studying the Bible with Tommy Shaver. Some of you might remember him. Tough looking guy. He was associated with the football program at UCF. So a couple of guys in the room were very large football players, right? And there's Tommy. There's these guys talking about serious stuff. And I'm studying the cross. And this is the part that got me, guys. This is when I decided I'm going to follow Jesus. This is what I try to remember every time I do communion. Tommy asked me after all that, he was like, and how do you feel about that? And again, I couldn't lie because you can't lie to God, right? It would be pointless to lie in a Bible study, I thought. But the thought I was thinking was really hard. It was very harsh. It was I didn't want to say it. I actually didn't want to say what I was thinking because I was like, these rough and burly men are going to beat me up if I say this, right? And the thought was, better him than me, better Jesus than me, because I didn't want to go through all that horribleness, right? And I was about to cry because these guys were about to beat me up. But Tommy said, but he loved you anyways. Jesus loved you anyways. And that broke my heart because, like, no one loves me like that. No one loves me like that. My mother didn't love me like that. So, man, yeah. So that was the point. That was the point where I turned to Jesus, never looked back. I said to Jesus, I'd die for you that day. And I've learned, I'll live for you, Jesus, And that's pretty much the story, guys. Anyways, thanks for listening, being patient.